Oh, that's good. That's damn good. Oh, that is so good. I wish all of you could enjoy coffee this much, this good. Hello, my name is Russell Volts from Lake City Coffee. And today we're going to talk about the industrial coffee companies. Um, I have been saying for years and years that the industrial coffee companies have been lying to us, lying through their teeth, providing us with coffee that's not only subpar, but they're lying to us on what's in that bag. Today, I ran across a video on YouTube which vindicates everything I've been saying for well over a decade. And it came from Smart Preppers in August 2025. It's a YouTube video called Stop Drinking These 7 Coffees. They're not 100% coffee. And it's interesting because I know that the margins on coffee typically are 2 to 3%, especially in these large industrial companies. And therefore, for them to really make a profit, they have to cut corners. Now, small independent roasters like myself, we don't have to cut corners. Why? Because we're a small operation. We don't have any employees. I don't have any rent. I mean, the government's lucky I pay them any taxes. So, that being said, I want to get into a little bit on the details behind this. Now, below, you're going to find a link, and that link goes to YouTube and shows you this video. It's 30 minutes long. If you're a coffee drinker, you want to watch this video because it's kind of showing you the shenanigans that large industrial coffee companies have been doing for many, many, many decades. And it's crazy. Having worked for a number of Fortune 500 companies, having been in this industry for a long time, I can tell you that, they don't have much of a choice. First of all, disclaimer. Let me read this to you so we're legally correct, right? Unless explicitly stated otherwise, the content discussed in this article and video is considered speculative and should not be interpreted as fact. We encourage readers to fact check the information independently and develop their own conclusions. Okay, that pretty much came out of the video on YouTube, but keeps the lawyers happy, and we're going to jump into this. So, where does this information come from? The information I'm going to convey to you now, and the video does a much better job. Just you don't get my personality, I guess. So it came from FDA recalls, independent studies, the Commodity Standards Research Group, that was a new one to me, studies from the National Cancer Institute, and food safety reports. So let's go through the 7 coffees that they've identified. But honestly, you could say this about just about any major industrial coffee company, including Black Rifle, or Starbucks. You can name, 24 different companies. When you're working with those kind of volumes, you got to cut corners if you're going to make a profit. And our little company, the 3 of us, right, family members, right, we make more profit than some of these companies. Why? Because they're not making a profit. And they couldn't. Black Rifle, there's no way they could have made any profit. And we've been competing against them for over a decade. Nonetheless, let's start. Number 1, Kirkland Signature Colombian Coffee. First of all, there's synthetic flavorings in there. There's no disclosure about their additives, their bean ratios, which is a big deal. Remember, there's 2 kinds of coffee beans, Arabica, which you think you're buying, and Robusta. Robusta is dirt cheap, bitter, nasty tasting, high caffeine, and it has some other ingredients, compounds inside the Robusta that you don't want to be drinking. Nonetheless, many, many companies will mix these 2 together and call it Arabica because a certain percentage of Arabica is there. So, So what are they doing? Kirkland, first of all, the synthetic flavors, they have additives, their bean ratios are mixed up. In other words, it's not, when they say 100% Arabica, trust me, it's not, because they can't afford to do that. And they're flash roasting. Flash roasting means that super high temperatures, super quick, because they think time is money. Whatever moron actually came up with that saying doesn't understand business. It's just part of our vernacular in our world today. And Kirkland and a lot of the other companies, they blanch their beans. So when they're not flash roasting them, they'll blanch them in water first, so just to save time. Crazy. Okay? Dollar General. Now you got to remember, Dollar General, their Clover Valley instant coffee we'll talk about, but Dollar General has 19,000 stores nationwide. So this is a big deal. Lots of people drinking this stuff. Anyway, they had an FDA recall because they had glass, shards of glass in their coffee. Now, why would that happen? Mostly because almost everything they do is automated. And if it's all automated, when things go wrong, nobody knows because nobody's checking. It's crazy. Walmart, number 3, Walmart's Great Value Classic Roast. It praised itself, so they advertise on their bags, it says 100% coffee. Well, a New Jersey commodity standard study flagged that they have fillers and synthetics inside their coffee. So it's not 100% coffee like they claim. You can understand, major corporations cut corners. They think they're too big to follow the rules that the rest of us do. Hang on. Sounds like I need another sip. You guys have no idea what you're missing here. All right. Folgers Classic Roast. So this is dark brews with deep shadows, basically. The FDA studies found that Folgers Extra Dark is very high in acrylamide. Now, acrylamide is a compound that's created in the bean from flash roasting. That means super high temperatures, very fast, just to save time. Well, there are some chemicals inside the beans that change to this acrylamide, which is a carcinogenic compound or chemical, if you will. So hot and flash roasting, but everybody does this. Folgers does it, Starbucks, Kirkland, you name the brand. If it's a dark roast, if it's black, you know that there's this acrylamide in that coffee. Everybody does that. We, on the other hand, we roast low and slow to a very, very dark brown. So our dark roast is a very dark brown, but not black. What that means is there are still oils in the beans, and the oils is the magic of coffee. Those oils give you this kind of flavor and aroma, and without that, you're basically drinking charcoal. So Folgers, in addition to flash roasting and getting this acrylamide in there, there's no label. You can't even go on the internet and find out what the heck is in Folgers Classic Roast. There's no warnings, and as I say, no remorse. They ought to feel guilty on not telling you the truth on what the heck you're buying. So, number 5, Traverse City Cherry Decaf Coffee. Okay, keep in mind, an 8-ounce cup of regular coffee has about 100 milligrams of caffeine in it. Decaf, 8 ounces, typically about 5 milligrams. Traverse City Cherry, guess what? They had an FDA recall this year. Why? Because their decaf wasn't decaf. It was regular coffee. So, again, automation produces problems because people aren't checking it, aren't doing it hand by hand. Honestly, in our business, there's 3 of us, my wife and I and our daughter. And if one of us can't catch something, the next one down the line does. So we have no issues at all there. Let's go to number 6. New Mexico Pinon coffee. They're K-Cup pods. And those K-Cups had an FDA recall because the ink on the outside of the K-Cups was leaching into the coffee with toxic chemicals. Okay? You can see how that could happen. 7, and last, UBAN, traditional roast coffee. So UBAN, what they did, typical, almost everybody does this in the major industry corporations, they are swapping the premium Arabica beans for Robusta. Bad enough, in addition to that, they're adding synthetics. So not even coffee stuff is going in there. And what's really sad, no announcements, no warnings, no disclosure. So in other words, again, big industrial coffee companies really don't care about you. So Lake City Coffee Roasters, we're family run. We keep it simple. 1 bean, 3 roasts, end of story. You want more than that, go somewhere else. But tell you the truth, those people that try our product, they love it. 98% of all of our sales are repeat sales because they love coffee as well as I do. And I hope you will too.